Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Dave, and today we'll be taking another look at the iPhone 13 mini and seeing how it holds up in today's world, 4 years after release. Because yeah, 2025 is almost over, and next year this phone will be 5 years old. And we'll see how good it is by putting it against Apple's latest and greatest, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So how does it fare, or how did it fare? Well, honestly, the results really surprised me. I know. This is a silly comparison. Nobody's going to upgrade from a 13 mini to a huge iPhone 17 Pro Max. But that's not the point here. The point is to see whether the legendary 13 mini, the last true small flagship iPhone, can still keep up with Apple's best. So I'm going to actually split this video into a few chapters covering the battery, the camera, a short speed test, maybe some special features, and I'll score each section with a percentage score so I can better show you guys how well it performs compared to the 17 Pro Max. And just as a quick disclaimer, I have actually used this exact iPhone 13 mini for about a month before my 17 Pro Max was delivered. And I've also changed the battery with a brand new genuine one from Apple. So both of these phones have brand new batteries, as you can see right here. Both of them are at 100%. Of course, the 30 mini doesn't show the charge cycles, but it doesn't matter. It's a brand new battery in both of these phones. So, might as well begin with the battery section of this video. And yes, this is the only thing that's indeed quite rough on the iPhone 13 mini. And basically, it stands no chance against the 17 Pro Max. On paper, the battery is literally twice as large on the 17 Pro Max. It has a battery of 4,823 mAh, or even over 5,000 if you have the eSIM version from the US, which I don't. But the iPhone mini has a 2,438 mAh battery, which again is literally half of the 17 Pro Max. And as expected, the 17 Pro Max lasts twice as long, so around 4 to 5 hours of screen on time for the mini and around 10 hours of screen on time for the Pro Max. And no surprises here, the 13 mini scores about 50% as good as the 17 Pro Max when it comes to the battery. Oh, and if you still have the original battery with about 80% health in your 13 mini, then this is going to be an even bigger difference. So yeah, keep that in mind. But let's move on to the next section, the cameras. So what about those cameras? Well, the iPhone 17 Pro Max has a triple 48 megapixel camera setup, which is fantastic, while the 13 mini has two 12 megapixel cameras. So yeah, you would say that this is quite a huge difference between the two. And while yes, there is a difference, it's not as big as you would expect. The 13 mini still does a fantastic job. Now, I'll drop some camera samples on screen right now, but really, the main camera is closer than you think between these two devices. Of course, the Pro Max has more detail, more depth, more resolution to work with, but in good lighting conditions, the 13 mini still does a fantastic job, and it's definitely not a day and night difference. The ultra-wide camera, yeah, it's much softer on the 13 mini, but it's still usable. And at least it has an ultra-wide camera, unlike the $1,000 iPhone Air. So the selfie camera is also much improved on the 17 Pro Max, as it has the brand new 18 megapixel center stage camera, and yeah, that's another clear win for the Pro Max. And the telephoto camera is yet again another win for the Pro Max, and I do use it quite often. The 13 mini has no telephoto whatsoever, and honestly, that's really the only major downside of this iPhone, for me at least. That's it. And the battery, but that's a different story. Videos, on the other hand, are very close. Seriously, I've filmed multiple videos with the 13 mini on this channel, and absolutely nobody noticed or complained that I wasn't using my 16 Pro Max or a proper camera. It still holds its own, to be honest. So as a quick summary, I would say camera-wise, the 13 mini is around 75% as good as the Pro Max. That's a ballpark figure, but yeah, that's my experience basically. Moving on to the displays, I won't take any points off for the smaller display of the iPhone 13 mini, because honestly, that's the entire selling point of the iPhone mini. But I will deduct some points for the lower brightness and a few missing features, such as 120Hz and an always-on display. But don't get me wrong, the 13 mini still has a fantastic OLED screen, and it's still really, really good. I'd say the 13 mini is about 80% as good as the Pro Max when it comes to the display, or even more if you don't really care about 120Hz or an always-on display. So let's move on to special features. Now, the iPhone 17 Pro Max does have a few special features that the 13 mini does not have. And the most important for me is the USB-C port. Because yes, it is much more convenient than Lightning. All of my devices are USB-C now, well, except for the older iPhones. So yeah, that's quite good to have. But honestly, I can still live with Lightning, that's fine. Now, what else? The iPhone 17 Pro Max also gets camera control. Where is it? Right here. And yeah, it's quite cool, but honestly, I don't really use this. I only use it to, quickly launch the camera, but that's it. I don't really use it for anything else, like snapping photos. The 17 Pro Max also has that action button, which again, I don't really use. You also get features like ProRes, ProRAW, Gen Lock support, and a bunch of other niche features. But if you don't know what any of these are, or if you don't care, then yeah, you won't notice the difference. So this category really depends on how much you value those features. So I won't give a specific percentage, but if you care about Gen Lock or camera control or USB-C, then yeah, it's probably going to be a bit lower. But for me, not having Gen Lock or camera control or an action button, those aren't too important for me. I can still live without those. And finally, we have performance. So let's do a quick speed test between the 13 mini and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Let's open settings. Yeah, it's quicker on the 17 Pro Max. Let's open Safari. Yeah, okay, the 17 Pro Max was a bit quicker, but is it really that much quicker? Yeah, it's like a split second quicker, but I can live with this performance, to be honest. Let's open TikTok. Yeah, 17 Pro Max was faster. Let's also try email. Yeah, 17 Pro Max is faster, but again, this is to be expected. Let's open music. Yeah, faster on the 17 Pro Max. Let's open the clock. Yeah, it's faster on the 17 Pro Max. So is the calendar. Let's open the camera. Yeah, so yeah, you can clearly see that the Pro Max opens apps a bit faster, like half a second faster, maybe a second faster. And it also keeps them in RAM for a lot longer because it doesn't have to reload them all the time. And that's a thing that I've really noticed, because the 17 Pro Max has 12 gigabytes of RAM, while this only has 4. So that's a big difference. But really, let's be honest here, it's not such a huge difference as we all expected. And yeah, indeed, iOS 26 did slow down the 13 mini quite a bit. It's not as fast as it used to be on iOS 26, but as you can tell, it's still more than usable. So yeah, score-wise, I would say that the 13 mini is around 80% as fast as the 17 Pro Max, but what do you guys think? I really feel like it can still keep up, to be honest. So when you add everything up, the 13 mini holds up its own surprisingly well against the latest 17 Pro Max. It's not as good, of course not, but it isn't meant to be. It just comes close. And if the compact form factor matters to you, that alone might be, the entire reason for you to choose this iPhone, because you really won't care about bigger iPhones. And that's the exact main selling point and the biggest feature of this 13 mini, the way it feels in your hand, because it's so tiny. I can use it with just one hand. Yeah, the 17 Pro Max can't compete with this size. But again, it depends on what you're looking for, to be honest. And if you already have a 13 mini and if you're enjoying it, just perhaps replace the battery and you'll easily get a few more years out of it. I'm expecting this to receive another 2 to 3 years of iOS support, so yeah, this is still a very good phone and still very usable today. And then there's the price. Now, again, this is a silly comparison, but you can pick up a 13 mini for like $250 nowadays, while the 17 Pro Max is what, 5 times more expensive? Over $1,200? Yeah, you see where I'm going with this. You do get a lot more phone for this. But some people only need this, and they're perfectly happy and enjoy the form factor. Personally, the 13 mini still remains my favorite iPhone that Apple has ever made, purely because of the form factor. And yeah, that's important to me. Like, for example, this is my favorite iPhone, and the iPhone Air is my second ever favorite iPhone. Yeah, but what do you think? Have you ever used an iPhone 13 mini or even the 12 mini? Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, this was Dave on Tech, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.